Hello, and welcome to our demonstration of FTA's new and improved Transit Asset Management website. Our refreshed website offers transit agencies and other asset stakeholders easy access to useful resources for transit asset management. Visitors to the site can learn about FTA regulations on asset management, share knowledge with peers on best practices, and access a wealth of implementation and program support materials. The updated homepage includes an overview of transit asset management and offers background to help you get started. At the center of the page, you'll see a new graphical slider cycling through featured content on the site. Below the slider, you'll find information about the national transit maintenance needs that precipitated the TAM final rule. Additional context about the rule can be found under About TAM. We've also added a list of the most requested TAM-related documents for easy access right on the homepage. Looking first to the right navigation bar, you'll see related links and documents. Here, you can sign up for email updates, check out related DOT initiatives and programs, and access a few related documents and guidebooks. Rounding out the right navigation bar is FTA's TAM program contact information. This structure is used for all of the TAM pages. The primary navigation bar can be found to the left. We will use this navigation bar to structure the rest of the demonstration. We just wrapped up discussing the Transit Asset Management Overview, the website's homepage, so we'll now turn to the Getting Started page. The updated Getting Started page provides basic guidance to get you on your way to compliance. It includes additional background on the final rule, provides a timeline for meeting requirements found within the rule, and lists TAM points of contact for all 10 FTA regions. The compliance checklist, viewable by clicking Compliance with the TAM rulemaking, offers a comprehensive walkthrough of the final rule requirements based on attributes of your agency's operating environment. Within this checklist, you can access additional checklists for determining your agency's tier and understanding its role as either a group plan sponsor or participant. These checklists can also be accessed directly using the links under Related Documents on the right side of the screen. The compliance checklist also provides direction to useful resources along the way based on your answers to the previous questions. Moving on to the next page along the left navigation bar, Frequently Asked Questions. FTA has begun developing answers to common questions about the TAM rule. These cover basic definitions and concepts found within the rule, in addition to some more complex questions around compliance and implementation. You can view answers to each question by clicking on the link at the top of the page. Visitors to the TAM website are encouraged to submit questions to FTA for inclusion on the FAQ page. Submissions can be sent to tam@dot.gov. Please keep in mind that questions are meant to be useful to agencies throughout the asset management community. If you have a follow-up question specific to your organization's structure, consider reaching out to your regional point of contact as listed on the Getting Started page. Following the FAQs on the navigation bar is the TAM Plans page. This new page consolidates information about TAM plans, one of the central requirements established by the final rule. At the top of the page, you'll find a quick summary of the origins and goals of the TAM plan. Next, we get into the various elements of the plan as required in the final rule. The table of TAM plan elements offers a succinct list of discrete components, broken out by agency tier, and provides a brief description of each. You'll see that dark gray rows are plan elements required for Tier 1 and Tier 2 agencies, while the light gray rows apply only to Tier 1 agencies. Below the table of plan elements is information on how the final rule divides transit providers into two tiers. Under this heading, you'll find a link to an FTA checklist that helps agencies determine their tier. In addition to the checklist, there is a brief summary graphic outlining the differences between the designations with further explanation bulleted below. Next is a brief explanation of TAM group plans, with specific information about the distinction between a group plan participant and a group plan sponsor. In this section, you will find links to two checklists, one to determine whether your agency is required to be a group plan sponsor under the final rule, and the other to determine if your agency will be a participant in a group plan. Finally, the Resources section provides links to further guidance on developing a compliant TAM plan. Here, you'll notice a link to the TAM peer library, which we will cover next. Scrolling back up to the top of the page, we'll now navigate to the peer library page on the left navigation bar. The peer library page facilitates information exchange throughout the asset management community, providing a platform for agencies to share recently completed work as well as lessons learned in the field. At the top of the page, you'll find a brief description of the peer library, including a list of suggested topics and a link to submit your own documents. Below the introduction, you'll find the library, with links to TAM documents grouped by theme and submitting agency. For example, under the Asset Inventory section, we can click to view an inventory taken from the TAM plan developed by Union County Public Transit in Oregon. We encourage agencies to submit documents using the link on this page and to check back regularly for new content. Now that we've covered the peer library, let's take a look at the new FTA Outreach Materials page. FTA is continually developing materials to support the rollout and implementation of the TAM final rule. The Outreach page serves as a clearinghouse for these outreach materials. Here, you can scroll through and find issues of TAM News, our industry newsletter, copies of presentations on asset management, recordings and transcripts of webinars, TAM fact sheets, and more. This page also includes useful resources developed by our partner organizations. Be sure to check back regularly. The Outreach page will allow you to register for upcoming webinars and training courses when they are announced. Next, we'll talk about the Resources pages. If you click on the Resources tab in the left navigation bar, you'll see a drop-down list of different resource topics. The pages are organized into the 8 following categories: Asset Inventory, Condition Assessment, Policy and Strategy, Resource Management, Rulemaking, TAM Roundtables, Targets and Performance, and Tools. Materials on the resource pages include research reports, excerpts from the final rule, meeting briefings and presentations, case studies, as well as data tools. It's useful to note that some materials may be linked to from multiple resource pages. We won't have time to click through each category, but if we click on the Policy and Strategy link as an example, you'll see at the top there is a brief description of the theme and information about the types of resources found within, followed by resource links grouped by type. Each of the 8 category pages follows this overall structure. Moving on from the Resources page, the next tab on the navigation bar links to the Term Light Analysis tool. It's likely many of you are either familiar with Term Light or have used it to better understand your agency's state of good repair backlog. Since the Term Light model serves as a basis for the condition assessment requirements established by the final rule, this page offers visitors a place to download both the software itself and supporting documentation on how to use the tool. On this page, you can also find the contact information for FTA's Term Light Program Manager and an email address for support with term-related questions. Finally, we'll take a look at the State of Good Repair Program page. We'll click the bottom tab on the navigation bar and then click Overview. The pages under the State of Good Repair Programs tab cover FTA funding sources available for assisting agencies in working towards a state of good repair. You can find more information about funding from the TAM pilot projects, SGR discretionary grants, and the currently available SGR 5337 Formula Grant Program by clicking on the links to each topic. This concludes our demonstration of the new Transit Asset Management site. We hope this has been a useful overview, and we encourage visitors to spend time exploring the new features and functionality. If you have specific thoughts on ways to further improve the website or the resources found within, please do not hesitate to contact tam@dot.gov with comments or questions. Thank you.